Good afternoon, or whatever time you're catching the recording. This is the latest episode of Wellness Wednesday, and I'm your wellness advocate, Christy Gammon. If you're following along, this is episode 23, and we are in the midst of a series on doTERRA's wellness pyramid. And today we're going to look at toxic load as we move up that pyramid. I don't want to spend a lot of time rehashing ground that I just recently covered. And so for the most part, I want to guide you to 5 recent Wellness Wednesday episodes where we talked in depth about toxic load and removing toxins from your environment, your home, your body, your skin, and the air around you. So when you have time, if you want to go into more depth in each of these areas, you're going to look at episode 8 for the environment, episode 10 for the home, episode 11 for your body, episode 13 for skin, and episode 15 for air. So important to detoxify our entire environment and just our bodies, the air, everything around us. There are so many things we can do. I hope this topic and the breadth and the depth of it encourages you for how empowered you can be, how much choice you have, and how many options you have to just cleanse and detoxify yourself and the environment. And of course, our oils are here to help. So I thought today I would take just a couple minutes and go over one more area that maybe you wouldn't think of right off the top, but if we really want to do our due diligence with the topic of toxic load, then we would be remiss if we left out toxic relationships, toxic people. We find ourselves in situations sometimes that are just in abundance of negativity, and that's not a healthy environment to stay in. So I want to give you a few tips. These are my adaptations on some notes I took from a Psychology Today article. And so 4 key points. First is your awareness, and you're going to look internal and determine where are you vulnerable and how are you reacting to the situations around you. Always best to take a good close look at yourself first. We want to take responsibility. We want to have ownership of how we're showing up in the world and how we're reacting, if not responding to the situations around us. And so once we have a good awareness of how we're showing up and what we're doing, what we're contributing, then we can start to look at others. And the second point is to have trust. We want to trust our gut feeling, our intuition, that if something's not right or if someone is not right, that maybe we should move away, step back, cut ties, whatever the circumstances call for. And just an encouragement to be weary of random kindness. The human condition is such that if someone randomly does a kind thing, speaks a kind word, then it's the goodness within us, it's the goodness of our hearts to say, we're making progress. This person is turning a corner. This relationship is going to be okay. But random acts such as that don't mean that there's a pattern, don't mean that there's actual growth happening. And so you just want to be weary. You just want to be careful that you don't fall into the trap of just going from random act to random act, clinging to a relationship that maybe no longer serves you. Maybe it never did. But you only want to find hope in what's true and in what's real, not in something that's false or misleading you. So you want to just be really careful, be very discerning in those situations, trust your intuition, incorporate prayer as needed. Third, very important point, boundaries. We want to establish healthy boundaries in ourselves, in our lives, and where necessary, develop an exit strategy. So Some relationships, maybe you're in a toxic situation at work. You're going to need to document things in that situation. You might need to have a face-to-face conversation with the person to try and work it out. Then you may need to take that documentation up the food chain and make sure that you're reporting what you're going through. That could be a nuance to a work situation. Maybe it's a family member. And so you can't just say, you know what, family member, you're out. I can't be in a relationship with you anymore. We don't always have that option. And so if it's a family member, you might just want to gather up some courage and speak truth in love and say, I don't think this is funny, or this is hurting my feelings, or these kind of statements regularly hurt my feelings, or don't build our relationship. Something like that. You just want to have courage and say something using kind words, but also firm words. You want to stand firm on your ground that you deserve respect and honor as a person, and that you're going to ask for that. So it might be a no to an event or a group or something that you would have membership in. It might be a no. It might be a not right now for something, or it could be an opportunity to end a relationship. You're just going to have to take those on a case by case basis. And then just another word of encouragement. As you start to establish healthy boundaries, many people don't have them and don't know what to do with them. And so anticipate the pushback. Be strong, use your oils. I've got some great recommendations for you. Use prayer, ask others to come around and support if they're healthy people. We don't want to create drama. We don't want to create gossip. But if you have someone who is an accountability partner or someone who you know is in your corner, who could also handle this type of situation in a healthy way, just to have a support person for you to bounce ideas off of or help you stand firm, that's all appropriate. You just want to be able to be prepared that the person that you're trying to create a healthy boundary with may push back. You just want to be prepared for that. And then the fourth and final point is that we never want to tolerate abuse. We wouldn't want to get confused on a toxic boundary situation and an abuse situation. So whether it's physical, emotional, or verbal, we want to never tolerate abuse. And if you feel like you're in an abusive situation, then please do reach out, report that, get help, whatever that best looks like in your situation, whether it's talking to a family member, someone at church, or going to the authorities. There's no oil that I would recommend to help you stay in a situation where you're sustaining chronic or regular abuse. You want to definitely get out of that situation the quickest, healthiest way possible. Then we'll use our oils to help you recover and heal from that situation. So as long as we're talking toxic situations and creating healthy boundaries, in the moment, here are some oils that will support you. I'm going to go over 4 single oils and then just mention 3 blends. So the first oil up is Clove Bud. Clove is the oil of boundaries. It supports individuals in letting go of victim mentality. Victims feel overly influenced by other people and outside circumstances. They perceive themselves as powerless to change their life situations. And that's where we want to turn this around. So if you're coming into the situation, maybe from a place of weakness, feeling like, well, this is just how it is and there's nothing I can do about it, Clove would be a great first step to just bolster you and enable you to start thinking in terms of boundaries and what you're going to do for your next step. The next oil I want to talk about is lemongrass. Lemongrass is the oil of cleansing. I love lemongrass, so I'm going to smell that one. And Kate and I are working in the basement today. We are cleaning and clearing. So lemongrass is a perfect one to use as you do your spring cleaning. It is a powerful cleanser of energy. So a lot of times we have emotional ties to these things that we're holding on to. It's a great one to diffuse when you're cleaning and clearing, getting rid of the old, getting rid of what no longer serves you. And so this also applies to relationships. If you need that boost to be able to speak truth in love, to say something, get your courage up, the lemongrass would be perfect. It dispels feelings of despondency, despair, and lethargy. So if you're not acting in a situation, it'll help you move forward. Lemongrass assists individuals in entering a healing mode or cleansing state. In this state, one easily lets go of the old, limiting beliefs, toxic energies, and relationships, and negativity. Lemongrass teaches individuals to move forward without hesitation. It asks them to commit to a healing path where change is a regular occurrence. So when you're establishing boundaries, there might be that hump that you have to get over when you do it for the first time, but an oil like lemongrass helps you commit to that path where you're just regularly reinforcing those boundaries, and you're not letting new toxins and negative energies in. Once we get these boundaries established, we want to have mutual respect. We want to respect them from our perspective, and then we want others to recognize our strength in our boundaries and respect them from the outside. And the third oil I want to talk about is tea tree or melaleuca. This is your oil of energetic boundaries. So it's great to come along and support these boundaries that you've set up. It's a cleanser by nature. Tea tree clears negative energetic baggage. It specifically releases codependent and parasitic relationships. These toxic relationships may be with people, microorganisms in the physical body, or spiritual beings. Individuals may feel drained of life force and energy, but they may not be consciously aware of the source of this energy leakage. So maybe you're even looking for some wisdom. Maybe you're not feeling like yourself. You think you're doing the right thing. Maybe you're out there loving and serving, and something's attached to you and it's dragging you down. And so you're not sure. It could be coming from a person, could be coming from the spirit realm. And so you just want to be able to clear that. Tea tree is an amazing oil to help do that. I love diffusing in the springtime, 2 drops each of tea tree, lemon, and lime. I call that fresh air, and that's a great boundary diffuser blend that you can use. Last single oil I want to talk about is yarrow palm, and this is the oil of energetic safety. And this one comes in the big bottle. It's one of those really thick, very blue oils because of the chemical compound, the constituent of chamazulene. So I'm just going to show you kind of what this one looks like. And I love the visual on it. When I do skincare classes, I like to show what this looks like on the skin. It's very thick. It's very rich and moisturizing, and it's very blue. And so I think about it in this context as a shield, and you literally want to put that on your face. We also have a body serum in the yarrow palm line, which would be wonderful to rub over your heart. And so I just think about these, this nutritive duo. I think that's what they call this one. Yes, it's an active botanical nutritive duo, which is kind of fun. That's because yarrow is the essential oil, and then pomegranate is the nutrient ingredient. I love that you can just put it right on your face. So it's doing all those wonderful physical things for your skin, and then it's also protecting you energetically. Yarrow is a conduit for light and creates feelings of emotional and energetic safety. It serves as an oil of protection by shielding individuals from negative influences that drain energy and strength. So this is an oil that, even once you're established in your boundaries, is wonderful to have on to just be proactive and to prevent anything new from coming in and disrupting you. Then I did want to mention just a couple of blends that can support you as well. You might try Beautiful, which has to do with self-respect, just helping to strengthen you in your own resolve to your boundaries. And then either On Guard or Stronger. And then always you're welcome to connect